are flawless, our weapon changes on the way. So here's the trials. These rewards are flawless and the weapon changes are on the way. Season 21 will be here before you know it, and luckily for Trials fans, this means new rewards to earn just around the corner. New season, Guardians will have a chance to unlock new exotic cosmetics rewards when opening Lighthouse rewards chests. Here's Wake to a new exotic ghost shell. Heroes Wake, a new exotic ghost shell. I'm all, here's Wake. Oh, pretty cool. Valorant memory exotic ship. Wow. Very intriguing. Very intriguing. We got a new Sparrow. Something different. Something different. What it's called? Survivor's Journey Exotic Sparrow. But that's not all. We also have a new shader on the horizon called Glorious Patina that allows us to unlock on the first time they open the Lighthouse Rewards chest in Season 21. Glorious Patina. New shader. This shader and any shaders released in the future for Trials of Osiris will be permanently unlocked once acquired. Transmog to your heart's content. This beauty can be applied to any piece of equipment. Just as a heads up, Glorious Patina will only be available to players who go flawless during Season 21. Future seasons will return of the older Trials shaders that were previously exclusive to Adept weapons as rewards for completing the first seasonal flawless ticket, and they will now be fully accessible and usable as all on your transmog hungry gear. Excuse me. So yeah. So the season available as a flawless reward, Glorious Patina, Bloodline Feud, and the Visor Regalia. Shader name, those are the shaders. For Season 21, here's what we'll be adding to the Trials loot pool. We got the Messenger High Impact Pulse Rifle. Has a new shader. We got the Unexpected Resurgence Adaptive Arc Glaive. The Adept version of Unexpected Resurgence will be available on the weekend of June 9th. And the Adept version of the Messenger will be available on the weekend of June 16th. The following weapons will be removed from the standard loot pool in Season 21. But the non-Adept versions will be available in via Legacy, focusing with Saint 14, the Inquisitor Shotgun, and Whistler's Whim bow. Now let's talk about labs. Week 8 Trials Labs, we test new matchmaking. Overall, the new system worked mostly intended. We discovered lobby balancer was causing high skill solo players to often feel like matches were stacked against them for some background. Since we moved to using the ticket-based matchmaking years ago, we have been tracking the skill of Trials and have been not utilizing any sort of skill-based lobby balancing either. The new matchmaking system allows us to match based off the card state and tracks skill, which we're planning to use for analytic purposes. Primitively, we believe we had disabled this skill-based lobby balancing as an intent of the new system was to maintain the randomized nature of lobbies present in the previous iterations of Trials. Unfortunately, this turned out to not be the case, and previously Latin lobby balancer came back online as soon as the player's skill value started to solidify over the weekend. We were able to identify this issue through player reports in a timely manner, and we have implemented a fix for Season 21, which will overwrite everyone in the Challenger pool's skill with the same value, effectively randomizing the lobby balancing for all players pursuing flawless. This fix will not present the Week 11 labs during Season 20, but it will continue to monitor player feedback on the new system we make to make sure everything else is working as intended. A second issue that came to our attention with Week 8 labs was that we did not communicate properly that starting Sunday at reset, players who had already been flawless could still farm Adept rewards on any 7-1 card, even flawed cards. they would they could when the flawless pool was active, but the week 11 labs, we were activating this feature starting as soon as trials goes live on Friday. What this means is that once you go flawless, you can continue to play on the same 7-win card for the rest of the weekend, even if it is flawed, and any win has a chance to grant you an adept weapon for the week. Because we have removed ticket-based matchmaking, if you want to help a friend get to the lighthouse after you've already been, you don't need to reset your card, as the number of wins on it no longer influences the difficulty of the matches you will face. We believe this will make getting flawless feel significantly more rewarding and should help to evaluate friction between farming adepts and helping other players go flawless. Overall, the two soft pulls system worked well, blending as needed to ensure connection quality stayed high and matchmaking times were fast, and farming the stop protection features both also function as designed in the practice pool. For the labs, we set farming protection values aggressively, both to make sure they worked and to make sure if anyone attempting to farm, we would be able to catch them quickly before they could potentially cause issues. As stated, intent of the system is to prevent nefarious people from attempting to abuse the practice pool, not to prevent normal players from engaging with it if they choose to do so. We believe we've captured the data to make the accurate assessments, so we will be tuning the values for Season 21 to make it less likely that any standard player gets caught up by farming protection. We estimate less than 1% of the trials population will even be eligible to trigger it moving forward, compared to approximately 5% during the first labs weekend. This should allow the performance-based matchmaking used in the practice pool to provide a high-quality experience for all players who choose to participate. Anyways, enough about that. The real question is, what is changing in Season 21 for Trials? Glad you asked. Trials of Osiris, Intro Quest, Domination, and more. We want to make Trials introductory quest more of an actual introduction to Trials, less to do something consuming thing before you play Trials. Season 20, where new players are currently asked to get 50 Crucible kills, raise their power level. The last step is asking a lot of servers as a barrier and not really preparing. Step 1. Complete competitive placement matches helps to get players introduced to 3v3 revived game modes, an environment where they will be matched to similarly skilled opponents. Get 50 kills in competitive, raise your power level, pick up Trials Passage, play a game of Trials, win one round of Trials, get one elimination in Trials, reward a roll of Astral Horizon Trials Shotgun. Trials Passages, as mentioned before, earlier this season, we're also updating a couple of Trials Passages offerings to provide a better experience in the new system. Passage of Wealth, previously granted increase of reputation on wins 3, 5, and 7 on the card. This is at odds with the system that wants you to continue playing on 7-win card to get the most efficient progress and best rewards. In Season 21, the passage will grant plus 75 Trials rep for every win, along with an additional bonus for current major rank in Trials, up to 150 total. This encourages players to stay on the same card and takes advantages of the system, granting more reputation for wins on the later card. Passage of Mercy. In Season 21, the passage will forgive 2 losses if you have not yet been flawless for the week. After going flawless, if you reset your card, it will revert to forgiving a single loss on each card. This will give all players a better chance of going flawless for each time for the first week, and for those players who can go flawless without using both mercies, it will give them additional opportunities to play extra rewards while the first card remains flawless. Dominion. Season 21 will be moving Dominion as a core game mode in Trials. This is not a change we'll be making lightly, but several seasons we're testing out in Trials Lab. Not analyzing both positives and negatives, we believe the shift is the best interest for Trials as a whole for several reasons. Offers a choice between playing elimination and playing objective, offering the objective for players to focus on outside of kills to allow more types of players to contribute to winning. On average, games are 15% faster than the standard elimination games. The prevailing strategy is most elimination games are devolved over years to focus on passive play, waiting on someone to make the mistake and get picked, or just simply waiting for the zone to come up at the end of the round anyways. By spawning the zones earlier, it creates pressure for both players to engage and fight earlier on the rounds, to puts extreme passivity at a disadvantage. Objectives promote more varied engagements on maps and zones, direct players around the map, and establish multiple defined fronts. Most engagements in standard elimination happen on a single central location, in general centered around where the overtime zone will spawn. Having multiple zones allow different permutations of the rounds based on the team zone spawn locations, which makes gameplay less static and pushes players to experience different engagements arenas on each map. Dang, these guys are changing trials like crazy. They're keeping the zones because they don't want people camping. Promotes a healthier sandbox variety in both weapons and subclasses. On the weekends when we run Dominion, we see less consolidation around the general strongest elements in the sandbox, and success is spread out amongst more weapons and subclass types. We have been hesitant to balance parts of the sandbox around the game mode now that they rotated into the trials on occasion, but moving to it is the core. Are you ready? Join me. The core mode that will allow us to better focus on to address the outliers and effectiveness that do exist. Provides us more balancing and changes to the gameplay experience. If a map plays poorly in standard elimination, there is little we can do to alter it. With Dominion, we have a larger number of levers we can use to modify how a map plays to provide the best and most experience possible. For example, Season 21 will be changing the initial player to zone spawn locations on Burnout based on the feedback from Season 20 Trials Lab. Teams will no longer spawn in the hall inside the east yard. Teams will spawn between Tumblr and the yard east-west sides. Zone will now down the center of the map. We understand that switching Dominion is making a carrying to the Lighthouse a more difficult challenge due to the increased premium place of solid teamwork, but it is important to note that those experiences must be weighted against the bulk of all players against the playlist to make decisions on what changes are implemented. Gilded Flawless. Is this thing all about trials? We wanted to make changing gliding flawless better align with the difficulty of gliding glorious title, and to the focusing rewards and dedication in the game mode. Gilded requirements in Season 20 follows: get 180, collect honor rewards, go flawless with one of the seasonal exotic weapons equipped, carry 2 players flawless, win 7. Season 21, get 500 kills, earn 16 trials ranks, go flawless, and get 50 kills with 1 seasonal exotic weapons equipped. You do not need to get 50 kills with the weapon itself. You need to have it equipped while you get 50 kills. Skill of the One. While on the ticket with 0 losses with the light for the loss emblem. Skill of the One. While on a ticket with 0 losses with the light of the loss emblem equipped. Win 20 games, acquiring the following medals: double kill, rapidly eliminate 2 kills 10 times, Skullbreaker, deal the most total damage and opponents in a match 5 times. The beginning, land the first elimination of the match 5 times. Strength of Many. While on a ticket, 0 losses with a flawless Empyrean emblem equipped, win 20 games, acquire the following medals. You guys can see it all. Yo, dog got more of those emblems. Okay, so that's the new Trials emblem. For this new iteration of Trials, we wanted to provide a special deterministic reward to allow players to prove their skill above and beyond simply going flawless. This emblem will be rewarded to the players when they open the flawless chest at the